In this video, I'm going to do an in-depth review of the July 2025 BTO launch from their pricing, location, and what are their pros and cons. Let's talk about Alexandra Vista. This is one of the two projects in Bukit Merah area. I believe this project will be highly sought after not only because it's in a mature town, but also because this is located in the Tanglin area. The area feels very premium because it is just a short bus ride away to Orchard Road, and there are many landed houses and embassies nearby. Not only that, in the premise itself, there will be an eating house and a supermarket on the site, so that will be very convenient for the residents. I guess HDB added an eating house and a supermarket here to compensate for its location. It is around 10 to 15 minutes walk to Redhill MRT station or one bus stop away. For me personally, it's doable to walk, but I understand that might be considered far for some people. As predicted by many people, Alexandra Vista project is classified as prime, which is very restrictive. The MOP will be 10 years, cannot rent out the whole flat even after MOP, income ceiling for future buyers, etc. But I guess that's the trade-off for getting a BTO in District 10. In terms of construction time, this project will take about 47 months, which is actually much faster than the other Bukit Merah project, Alexandra Peaks, which needs 56 months to build. I have no idea why the time difference is that big. Now, let's discuss about the price. Here's the price before grant for your information and also the nearby resale flat transactions for reference. Interestingly, HDB kept the price exactly the same between Alexandra Vista and Alexandra Peaks. So, if you apply for Bukit Merah town and lucky enough to get a good queue number, you don't have to worry about your finances and can just pick the best unit from either project. I can't believe I would say this about a BTO in Tanglin area, but you know what? These BTO prices are actually still reasonable. Let's look at the 4-room flat prices across different projects in this July batch. So, Alexandra Vista price starts at $560,000, right? Well, payoh ascent 4-room price starts at $583,000. Even crazier, simei symphony 4-room starts at $529,000. So, if we compare it against these two, it made this Alexandra Vista prices seems reasonable. Yes, you pay more than $500,000, but at least it's District 10 and not near Changi Expo like simei symphony. In summary, if you are lucky enough to get a flat here, the potential resale value is incredible. 15 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if some lucky seller is able to flip a 4-room flat here for $2 million or something. Note that there will also be 11% subsidy recovery if you sell this flat, which is surprisingly not the highest clawback in this July batch. If we compare the price gap between the upper BTO price in this project versus the highest comparable resale price for similar flats, the gap is about 64% for 3-room flat and 45% for a 4-room flat. I know that this is not a scientific method to compare, but it does give you some rough guidance whether the BTO price is reasonable or not. So, if you look at the potential profit you can make if you buy a unit here, the subsidy clawback rate is somewhat manageable because you can still profit in general. Now, let's look at the site plan. All 3 blocks are well spaced out. The multi-story car park and 2-story block with commercial and communal facilities help to put some distance between the blocks. There are 2 drop-off points which is sufficiently serve the project, and all stacks are outward facing. Note that some stacks will face the multi-story car park directly, and the majority of the stacks have north-south orientation. If we see the lifts, it seems like 6 to 7 units is going to share 4 lifts, which is pretty acceptable. And there is also a sheltered linkways which will connect all the blocks and multi-story car park and also connect to a future bus stop. And as mentioned before, there will also be a supermarket, an eating house, a preschool, and some shops within the project, which is an added convenience for the residents. Now, let's talk about the location. Okay, so this is the map that HDB gave, and if we check the Google map, the location of the site is this current empty plot next to the Crescent Girls School. If you want an unblocked view, I think you can select blocks that will face this side, which is the Grace Assembly Church or the Crescent Girls School. This will give you the best chance of getting an unblocked view even from mid-floor level. Actually, at the moment, this site is also a low-rise building because this is like Salvation Army and bunch of other buildings here. But I think soon or later, this land will be repurposed to a high-rise building. Why? Well, because number one, see, this land plot is damn big. See, this whole land plot is very big and it's kind of underutilized for such a strategic location. Another telltale sign is that if we go back to the HDB map, you see here, they are saying that this existing road will be expunged in the future. So expunged meaning somehow it will be like destroyed or blocked or something, which is this road. Currently, this is a dead-end road that goes to Lee Kong Chian School and Rainbow School. And there's also a BTO here, but this BTO can be reached by other roads. So I don't know what is the government's plan for this giant land plot, but it is a very huge land plot. So my guess is the government might relocate these two schools and then close off this road and repurpose the current Salvation Army location for something else, but that is just my speculation lah. In terms of amenities, HDB has allocated space to build an eating house and a supermarket in the project itself. It will also come with shops and preschool. Other than that, of course, you can walk towards the Redhill MRT station where you can find more eateries, shops, and also clinic. According to Google Map, Redhill MRT station is about 800 meters from this site, so it's basically this one. It's definitely doable if you are fit and able, but perhaps it will be challenging for some people. If you want to go to Redhill Market and Food Center, it's over here, so it's probably better to take a bus. Dawson Place Mall is also around here. So probably some people would just choose to ride a bus as well to go there instead of walking. So you see the site is here, right? Tanglin Mall is just following this road here. So this is Tanglin Mall. And if you continue with this road, you will end up in the Orchard Road. So as you can see, it's right over here. For parents with young children, there are quite a lot of school options nearby. Crescent Girls School is just next door. And then you also have Queenstown Secondary School, Alexandra Primary School is over here, you have Gan Eng School, and many more. If you happen to have a special needs child, Mines Lee Kong Chian Garden and Rainbow School are in the vicinity. If you are religious, I would like to add that there's a mosque across the street and also there's a church besides the site. So depends what your religion is. Okay, let's do a quick recap on the pros and cons. The selling point of this project is definitely the location. I mean, it's not every launch HDB offers a BTO location in District 10, right? The area undeniably feels very exclusive because it is near embassies, landed estates, Tanglin Mall, and Orchard Road. I also like the fact that next to the site and its back are landed estates because this will mean that you have a great chance to get an unblocked view even for mid-floor levels, although of course, the higher the better. In terms of potential resale value, there is no doubt in my mind that this project will be another $1 million HDB resale flat producer in the future, specifically for the forum flats. That is, of course, unless the government intervenes. Tanglin on its own has a good name recognition, and the area feels very special with many embassies and multi-million-dollar landed estates surrounding the site. For singles and seniors, this project is also going to be very exciting because it offers 240 units of Turun Flexi, which is almost half of the total units here. I also appreciate that HDB has allocated an eating house and supermarket on the site, so that will be very convenient for the residents. School options are also a plus, because if you have young children, there are still options within the 1 and 2 kilometer radius. I also like the fact that this site is near the Alexandra Park Canal, so you can cycle or jog to stay fit. On the other hand, of course, like everything in life, there are several downsides to this project. So some people might think that this site is a little bit far from the MRT station. Well, I happened to pass the location multiple times in the past, and to be fair, it's around 10 to 15 minutes walk to Redhill MRT station, but it's just one bus stop away. It is still very much doable if you are fit, but if you are a senior or maybe pregnant, probably it will be more comfortable to just take a bus. If you do want to walk to the MRT station though, please note that the walkways are not fully covered. There will be parts where you are exposed to the elements, especially when you cross this big intersection between Tanglin Road and Alexandra Road. So if it's raining or if it's very sunny, then you have to rely on umbrellas. Obviously, the strict restrictions imposed on this project is tough. As usual, the 10-year MOP, subsidy recovery, cannot rent out the whole flat after MOP. income ceiling for the future resale buyers, etc. But then again, that's just the reality of HDB nowadays, right? If you want a BTO with great location. For 2-room flexi and 3-room flat specifically, to be honest, you might find some difficulty selling your unit in the open market after MOP has ended because of the strict rules that comes with this project. Another risk is construction noises. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but as mentioned, I highly suspect that the land across this site will eventually be a condo or even another BTO in the future because the location is so damn good and that land plot is so damn big. Another downside that I can think of, well, probably the potential road noise. Because this project is located on a busy street, the queue to wait for the traffic light can be a bit packed, but I think this is just a minor inconveniences and not necessarily a deal breaker. In summary, I believe that this project is a great option for those who want to live in the central area. I mean, when else you get to live in a BTO in District 10, right? Note that with the new HDB rule where you can only pick a town and a flat type, when you apply for Bukit Merah, you can either get this Tanglin project or the other project at Alexandra. But if you look at the map, they are actually pretty much across one another, separated by the Alexandra Canal Park. But even if it's a toss-up between this Tanglin site versus the Alexandra site, in my humble opinion, both are great choices, so I wouldn't mind. For families, this project is also suitable because of the proximity to many schools nearby. Singles will also enjoy this project because it has 2-room flexi option located near the CBD area. It is also good for seniors, especially because it will have an eating house and a supermarket on site. However, just note that seniors might need to rely on buses to get to different places, especially if you are not comfortable to take the 800 meters walk to the MRT station. All in all, a very solid choice. If I'm on the hunt for a BTO, I would not hesitate to apply and pray for the best queue possible. If you would like to know more about the upcoming BTO launch, check out my channel as I have more videos about this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!